So good afternoon and welcome to another exciting episode of The Link Show. Absolutely wonderful to have you with us here today. And we find ourselves at the Bellville Campus this particular afternoon. My name is Dougal. It's an interactive show as always. We look forward to your contribution. And what can I tell you, man? This is where dreams are being shaped. It is fantastic. As usual, partner in crime, Rhoda is here.
Welcome everybody. As you can see, we're finding ourselves today very, very interesting once again on the Link Show. Very excited because we've got our main person here telling us about this, where we are finding ourselves today, and I'm overwhelmed with all this gearboxes and engines, and it's really overwhelming.
I'm starting to enjoy, of course, the road trips that we've done. Now, as you know, of course, with the previous couple of episodes we've done, we've been focusing on engineering. Now, and I always say this, and it is only just and right that we actually start by saying it again, that the Northlink College is setting the pace within the TVET industry. There is nothing like it, and trust me when I say that the proof is in the pudding. When you walk into a place of higher learning and you walk into the amount of sophistication that is around us, I mean, this is just absolutely joyous. Amazing. So you're watching this because you want to make this your tertiary institution of choice, and more importantly, we showcase this particular campus today. And of course, just to Rhoda's immediate right, of course, is the campus manager joining us today as well. And we're going to delve into everything around this that is taking place here, of course, at this fantastic campus. So, Mr. Randall, thank you very much for joining us today. How are you doing?
Great, thank you. I'm glad that you can be here today.
No, and listen, first things first, let's just tell people, because this is the third program that we've done. We focus on engineering. And all the amazing courses. But before we even get into the real nitty-gritty and the forms of engineering and the trades and all of that, let me just say, this is absolutely outstanding. Where we find ourselves now, we've done a tour.
Yes.
We've gone basically everywhere. This is where you want to be. I don't think we're going to leave.
No. I loved it. From the boat engines to the car engines to Boilermaking to metal bending. I've never seen metal bend in my life. I'm quite amazed. Brilliant.
So when we talk about all of this, because we're talking automotive repair, maintenance, all of that, this is what this campus is all about.
That's correct. Just to give you some background, Northlink College, Bellville Campus is one of 3 engineering campuses that Northlink has. The name Bellville Campus is often confused with Protea Campus in Voortrekker Road. So we are situated in Bellville South, and we focus on all the automotive trades. In fact, Northlink College, Bellville Campus offers the widest range of automotive trades in the country.
Wow.
Which includes motor mechanics, diesel mechanic, diesel fitter, panel beating, spray painting. We used to offer auto electrical course as a standalone. Because of low demand, we had to stop the auto electrical. Now, people may find this very confusing because of all the electrics and electronics on our modern vehicles, but the fact of the matter is that in the past, when a car came in for repairs, the motor mechanic would repair all the mechanical things, and then it would move on to the auto electrician for all the auto electrical work. These days, with the technology we have in our vehicles, when the vehicle comes into the workshop, the mechanic has to do the mechanical, the electrical, the electronics, the diagnostics, everything. So the electrical and electronics forms part of the motor mechanic trade as well as the diesel mechanic trade.
Okay.
So that is why there isn't a demand to train auto electricians at the moment. Okay. Yes.
So,
yes.
Sorry, I just want to ask you this, because this is almost like one of those points where the tuition here and the courses, it's moving with the times.
That's correct. We have to move with the times. The vehicles that we had 20 years ago is long gone. And the trade is evolving at such a pace. we're moving towards electric vehicles. We're a long way off, with Eskom not even be able to supply our domestic needs, but that is where the whole world is heading. So at the moment, we have hybrid vehicles, which has a combination of electric and engines, but we are moving completely to electric vehicles in the future. Yes. So we also offer then panel beating and spray painting. Those also form automotive trades. And then we offer fabrication trades, which would include boilermaking, pipe fitting, sheet metal work, very similar to boilermaking, just the gauge of the metal that differs. And we do welding. Welding is a separate course. Although the boilermakers learn a little bit of welding, but my colleague will tell you more about those trades later on. So those are the trades that we offer. But our focus on this campus is to create artisans. So that is our main focus. The challenge that we have in South Africa is that we are not training sufficient artisans. We are losing more artisans than what we're able to produce. And the reason for that is they say that the average age of an artisan in South Africa is well in the 50s.
Oh, wow.
And people die naturally. Some people have health issues and they're not able to meet the physical demands that an artisan, that's required of an artisan. We also have people going on retirement, and then a lot of the younger folk have opportunities abroad. And we can't blame them for that. So we need many, many artisans in South Africa, and that is our focus here. So we have basically two types of students. We have students that are employed at companies where they would do most of the practical work in the workplace, and they would come to us for the theoretical component. And we also have school leavers that are not employed, that come to us and do a course here, and that makes them employable. So they then go work in industry for a while, and they can come back and do a qualifying trade test. And once they pass the trade test, then they're qualified artisan. So we offer the trade testing in all of the trades that we offer here as well.
Sure.
Yes.
Because I was going to ask you this, because this is a big thing, because this is a big bugbear for mum and dad, for any prospective student. Do I find work? But in terms of the courses that you offer, and you've just touched on it, you are really, I mean, you've got relationships with industry. The courses you have here, all your offerings are bang, bang aligned.
Yes. Well, not only are they aligned, but if somebody can work with their hands, they don't need a boss. They could create employment opportunities and also open their own businesses. So a lot of our students go into employment, but many of them open their own business. So we teach them entrepreneurial skills as well.
That's brilliant, brilliant. Just when we came to the campus, just noticing when we actually drove in, I mean, I commented to Dougal as well. I said I could see the different age groups. So it wasn't really just like you're younger, it was you're older, and that actually basically tells us exactly that the people that's coming to study here is not just of your younger generation.
That
it's
is
coming
correct.
from companies as well that's actually sending their guys
That
here.
is correct,
So,
yes.
And what I've noticed, and this is what I want to ask you, I've seen this quite a bit of ladies here as well. So
Yes.
obviously there's a change in the industry as well.
Definitely. Previously, this was a male domain, but there are more and more female students interested in our trades. So every year we find that this is increasing to such an extent that many of our lecturers are females that are teaching welding. We have one teaching boilermaking. Our spray painter lecturer is a female.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the times are definitely changing.
I'm
Yes.
happy.
And you know what, I know we're going to talk about this as well, but I'm going to call it an oven for now, but at some point I will be corrected with later guests, because we saw a couple of ladies there with the sort of suits on and spraying. We did a little bit of a tour and I'm still just processing everything I see. It's quite a bit, and it's wow. It's wow. That is all I can say. It is absolutely wow. I want to shift the conversation just a little bit slightly, because this is a concept. It gets thrown out everywhere. Fourth industrial revolution. this gets thrown out in every conversation. What is happening here on this campus aligned to that?
We have to move in that direction. Industry demands that. So I was going to tell you a little bit about our Center of Specialization. You would have picked up at the other campuses. We have in fitting and turning, electrical at Bellville, and 2 years ago, we started the Center of Specialization for Boilermaking. Okay. And my colleague will speak later more about that. But we received 10 million rand from the Mercy that we're going to transform the Boilermaking workshop.
Wow.
And we're also creating a new 4IR department in Boilermaking.
Wow.
So, yeah, one of our machines are arriving at about 2 this afternoon.
Oh.
A machine that costs over 2 million rand that's going to be part of the 4IR section for Boilermaking.
Beautiful.
But then we also, Northlink invested about over 3 million rand in welding simulators. So it's a really exciting thing. We were hoping that that project would have been ready for the show today, but unfortunately the builders are still busy. But we have all the equipment, and we're really looking forward to that. So we won't need to burn up welding rods all the time. Everything will be virtual reality, and really, really, really exciting stuff coming.
Oh, wow, I'm excited.
It definitely sounds like that. And of course, you're watching this now. You can view some of these welding, and also there's flames. There's flames. It's always exciting when there's flames. And the one thing I've noticed as well, because when Rhoda and I, we did a tour, and we were given strict instructions, walk on the green.
Yeah.
So obviously, because it is a workshop environment, but and I think even in the industry, even when you go into the professional side of things, I mean, we all know in life, safety is everything. And that seems to be very, very prominent here as well.
We have to. In all of our workshop, a workshop is a dangerous place. So we started for the safety, and you can see the green lines just means that the walkways that for our housekeeping and for our safety, if we're going to let a student into a dangerous environment, we can injure himself or lose a limb or even die. That is what we're trying to prevent accidents. So we focus a lot on occupational health and safety. Brilliant. We have monthly inspections. We have monthly meetings to identify any case where there may be an unsafe working condition, or so we try to eliminate that.
Oh.
Excellent.
And I must say this, I know I said it in the beginning, but I must say this again. It is absolutely an awesome place. I mean, behind us, you could see all of this, because everything, I mean, the engine, if I can use an engine as an example, we've got gearboxes.
Yes.
Yeah, and things up there. Now, I have no idea what it looks like, but the way it is sort of structured and showcased here, it just makes it simple. And it makes it practical. And even somebody like me who's got, okay, I just see things turning here, but you know, just the way everything is displayed here, it shows it's a place of higher learning.
Yeah.
It is so encouraged, and everything is just absolutely fantastic. And we want to congratulate you on that, because
Definitely.
I think this is brilliant with your team, what you're doing here. It's
Definitely.
truly outstanding. And industry and society owes you, and everybody at Northlink a big amount of gratitude.
I just want to touch on the programs that we offer here.
Please do.
Yes.
We offer the National Certificate Vocational, we call it NCV course, and that's a 3-year course. We also offer the N1 to N3 course here. Now that course is phasing out, and we'll talk more about that. And then we offer skills training, which is in our workshops, just practical training. The reason why the N1 to N3 course is phasing out is that it only has a theoretical component. So students sit in the classroom and they do mathematics, they do engineering science, they do drawings, or industrial electronics and a trade theory. And at the end of that term, they write an examination, and then there's no practical component to it. So this year was the last year that we offered N1. So next year, come January, we'll only be doing N2 and N3. Then we'll phase the N2 out and then 3 completely until it's gone. So, and in its place, we're offering more center of specialization courses. We spoke about the Boilermaking that we started, and that is going very, very well. So we're expanding that now to welding. We're expanding it to motor mechanics as well as diesel mechanics. So we'll be taking 30 learners for in welding, 30 in motor mechanic, 30 in diesel mechanic, as well as another 30 in Boilermaking. That would be the third group for the Center of Specialization students. And that is a great cause because it's the QCTO, we call it QCTO, it's a Quality Council for Trades and Occupation. It's there, it's a program that is with them. But the beauty of that is that when the learner starts with that course, there's an employer on board immediately.
Oh,
Because
wow.
I was going to ask you that, because that is the biggest question. Any prospective student, mom, dad, everybody's looking at this going, am I going to be employable?
Exactly.
And everywhere, with every time we've had a Link Show episode, there seems to be more reasons that we could even make up that you are going to be employable. And you are touching on this now.
Exactly.
But the difference between this Center of Specialization course is that the employer is there upfront. So how it's going to work is that students will have to apply by the employer, or they can apply at the college. We'll pass the CVs on to the employer.
Wow.
The employer will choose who they want to employ. So they'll be employed upfront before they even get to the college.
Oh, wow. So if this is basically something that I'm wanting to do, I'm coming out of school now, matric, and this is what I want to do. Obviously, I'll come to Northlink.
They can apply.
And then you will then direct them to...
We will offer the CVs to the company, and they will choose who they want to employ.
On the CV, so what do you need, like me as a matriculant that's going to leave now, what is my requirements? Maths, lit, or?
We require a minimum of a grade 9,
Grade
but
9.
obviously if you have higher qualifications, then you will obviously stand a better chance. We won't have any say in the matter because the employer, it's an employed learner.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so that's the difference. But our NCV students, that is it's National Certificate Vocational, that was brought in 2006. It was also to replace the N1 to N3 course. And the difference between that is a practical component in the NCV. So the NCV course has 7 subjects, which 3 of them are fundamental. We call it fundamental, which they learn computer literacy, language, mathematics, and 4 we call core subjects, which covers the specific trade. And they move between the workshops and the classroom. And at the end of the 3 years, they get a certificate that is equivalent to matric, but they work ready because our current matric certificates, the students still need to study further before they can get employment.
Wow.
So with the NCV course, they can just walk into a job.
Wow.
Sure.
Excellent.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. We're going to enroll tomorrow?
I wish I was younger, that's all I can say, that I could make these decisions.
You're still young. Zanel, thank you so much.
Thank you
so much for all your insights and giving all this amazing information. Absolutely brilliant. Any last thoughts before we let you go?
Our registration is open for 2023. Students are welcome to apply. As I said, those that are interested in the Center of Specialization, we will forward those CVs on to our various companies. Thank you.
No, thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you very much for being here with us today. So yes, it is the Link Show, and of course where we find ourselves right now is at the Bellville Campus, or Bellville South is where this campus is. And it is a 3-part series that we've been
That's
doing,
right.
Rhoda. We've been focusing on engineering. And we've just spoken to Kirk Randall, who's the campus manager here, and there you heard it.
Excellent.
Because you know what, you can feel it when you walk in here. I mean, obviously safety is paramount. We both
Paramount.
remarked that.
Totally. And you know, Dougal, you know, we normally go to a mechanical shop or places, there's always oil and it looks so sometimes like,
You can eat off this floor.
These floors are clean, guys. I mean,
And it's like this everywhere.
exactly. I feel like I'm walking on grass on the green that's here. So I do feel safe, you know. So I must say the standard is very, very high. Very high.
No, it
I'm
is.
very impressed.
Yeah, so the campus manager, of course, gave us a good overview of all the courses that is here, and of course mentioned that registration date as well. But the nitty-gritty in terms of the courses and exactly what is to offer and where you now going, I'm going to do this course or that course, that is what we're getting into next.
That's
so
right.
we know it's automotive, it is repair, maintenance, all of that we talk about. But Owen
Fabrication,
Francis, which are HOD occupational programs, is going to join us, and our focus now is going to be on automotive repair and maintenance trades.
Oh, yeah.
Owen, thank you so much. Welcome to the Link Show, man.
Thank you. It's really an honor.
Yeah, it's brilliant to have you here. But quickly, when we
Yeah.
talk automotive repair, maintenance trades, give us the synopsis. Speak about these trades.
So basically what it entails is from the start, from repairing vehicles, servicing a vehicle, maintaining a vehicle. It's the whole process from front bumper to back bumper. Is understanding how the engine work, how the gearbox work, how the diff work, how the ABS work, how the electronics work of the car. So it's everything in one. And at our college, you've got different phases of it as well. From CBMT levels 1, 2, 3, and 4, from apprenticeships. So there's a variety of programs that we cover the automotive maintenance aspect of the vehicle.
Sure.
So my question, because I'm listening to all of this, and it sounds very high grade, obviously, to me, because I looked at everything, it was very high grade to me. The level of difficulty, is it quite difficult to do some of these courses?
It is difficult, but I think why Northlink College sets himself above the rest is what we do to the normal kids that's at school that wants to become mechanics and that doesn't have maths and science and all those things. For them, we have the skills program, and we're doing certain programs where we can bridge the gap, so that we want to level the playing field. Yes, it is the complexity level of repairing vehicles is every year it's just increasing, and your knowledge has to be spot on. But that's where we look at the need of our students and we address the need, and we will do special programs and make sure that learner, we're not going to set him up for failure. We're going to make sure that the foundation is laid properly and make sure that he gets to the finish line, which is your red seal at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So basically.
Yeah, and that is the thing. And I want to go back to, and I want to just break it down to motor mechanics, because Mr. Randall touched on this. Obviously, what's happening in industry, in the professional side of things are changing. The technology that exists today, nobody knew 10 years ago. I mean, the stuff I have in my car today, 10 years ago, do you know what I mean? It didn't exist. So obviously, the industry has changed. Are we keeping pace with that?
So working for an institute like Northlink College, the benefits of working for Northlink, we can buy the stuff. But for us, we can't just go buy anything. We are dictated by industry what we need to train the students on. Okay. So we will go to industry and we will look and say, oh, this is the new technology, this is the new diagnostic machines. So we can't go and buy old stuff. We have to be abreast with technology, what's happening in industry, because we're training for industry. Exactly. So we get all our information from industry. We can't be on our own or in a silo, and that's where the partnership comes in. Industry, the seaters and all those, to make sure that we're on par with what's happening with industry.
Okay.
I'm loving that, because that's exactly where a lot of people find themselves. They're done studying and they actually can't get work because of the fact that what they've been taught was quite old and it's not equivalent to what's happening now in the industry. So, and this is what I'm loving about Northlink. They basically go with the changes, because it does make sense to basically study something that's actually happening right now.
So on that also, what we've embarking at Northlink is we're going now to the high schools, the technical high schools, because our kids is not ready when they get out of school. They want to become auto mechanics or diesel mechanics, and when they come to industry, they are not ready. So what we've been awarded recently is to go to the technical high school and do CBMT phase level 1 and level 2 of the apprenticeship at school level. So that by the time they finish matric, they've got some understanding of what's happening in industry. So those are the things that we're doing at Northlink College.
Okay, so we're looking at specialized machinery. So I want to ask you this, and I know it's a bit of a naughty question, a bit of an unfair question, but in terms of the theory, the practice is certainly aligned, but also the machinery, the mechanics of the industry is changing. Are you keeping at pace at that? Because earlier we heard of a new machine that's coming, so I just want to check.
So once again, with Northlink, if that is what we need, that is what we're going to buy. But it must be specific, and that's where it's important to have the right staff or the right facilitators that comes from industry, that have that experience and that can guide the college in that direction. For argument's sake, like our welding simulators that we've got, it's stuff that we needed it, and the facilitator was part, and the program manager was part of acquiring and getting the right stuff. Now we've got it. Same with the Boilermaking, with the laser jet cutters and the water jet cutters. Same with the automotive side. And that's where we're going. So it's very important that we focus on the quality of the tools and equipment, quality of the facility, quality of our facilitators or our staff. Because ultimately it's about quality.
Most
Because it's
definitely.
going out to industry, and we want to put the best out there.
I was just going to say, because just, I mean, doing the write-up before and just how engineers change our world. So obviously quality is of vital importance. You can't build a bridge or a car is going to be breaking down. So the quality has to be of high standard. And this is why you guys focus on making sure that it's industry related, obviously.
And the benefit of working with industry partners is they tell us exactly what we're doing wrong.
Oh, wow.
So that is the relationship that we've got with industry, because we can't just go do something and expect, okay, what we're doing is right. No, industry is telling us, guys, you're on the right track, or I think you need to change here. And that's where the partnership comes very important.
And this is super important
wow.
because we're touching on everything that mom and dad would want to hear. This is it. I mean, we all know life and technology in any industry is constantly evolving, speaking
Exactly.
to the consumers, and of course by consumer behavior and demand, things change. And it is brilliant that there's a tertiary institution that actually focuses on that to make sure you're easy adaptable, but also you're keeping abreast of everything. I want to just take it back a second, and I just want you to break down. So motor mechanics. If somebody's never, it is a student now, there's a learner now who's thinking, okay, motor mechanics, break it down in the simplest form. What exactly is it? And I want to ask you the same for diesel mechanics, diesel fitting, panel beating, welding, spray painting, we can assume, but I want you to do all of that.
So obviously I'm a motor mechanic by trade, so I've been in that boat where I was at the normal school. I didn't want to become a mechanic. My father was a mechanic for 36 years. I didn't want to become a mechanic, but there was nothing else for us. So we couldn't go study further, and that's the route we had to take. So to become a motor mechanic, when you finish with the trade, you will be able to do an engine over, gearbox, diff. You would be able to repair a vehicle as a motor mechanic. The same goes to a diesel mechanic. Diesel mechanic is more intrigued. There you get injectors, injector pumps. You get a different kind of gearboxes, the one that I showed you, the ZF gearbox. So there, in that sense, there is that level of complexity that comes in. Panel beating, spray painting. Panel beating will be able to repair a vehicle for you, whether it's on a machine, you will be able to pull it straight with the jigs that we've got. Any panels that needs to repair from aluminium, all those things a panel beater will do. Spray painter will be able to spray any color for you on any vehicle because they get trained on the latest technology. Same with a welder.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. There it's your grade 9s, and they will be the basic and advanced, and they will be able to cover all the welding areas. Same with boilermaking as well. So for me, my passion is automotive because I'm a motor mechanic. Same with the auto electricians.
Yeah.
And the one thing that we busy focusing on is electric vehicles, electric buses.
Wow.
I think that's where we're gonna be a trendsetter, because we want to have the first electrical vehicle training center here and electric buses. It's easy out there. We've got partners that's indicated to us, likes of Land Rover, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and one of our biggest clients of the buses, which is Golden Arrow. So that's very important to have the right partners on board because they must give us guidance.
And they're giving you guidance, and also, I mean, it's that sort of funnel and that conveyor belt that leads to employment, knowing what the industry wants, and it's trained specifically for that, so it makes it easy. This is my final question. I know she's got a question. What are the requirements to study here?
So there's different requirements. So for motor mechanic, you can either have a matric with maths and science. You can have a technical matric. As Mr. Randall also explained about the NCV. So if you finish grade 9 in school, you can opt for the NCV program, which is NCV 2, 3, and 4. And then you go into apprenticeship. That for motor mechanics. Yeah. If you talk about panel beating, it's grade 9 to pass. Welding is grade 9 as well. Diesel, you have to do N2 with your diesel trade. You must have a full N2 qualification. On that, Mr. Randall touched about the N subjects or the N courses that's falling away. With a new occupational qualification that's coming in, it's a grade 9 where you must do a FLC or a matric. And we are accredited for all the trades for the new occupational qualification as well. So that's one in our feather as well.
Like a one-stop hit wonder.
Exactly.
place.
And you know, it makes me excited as a parent because, you know, you always worry with your kids. Not everybody obviously is going to go to varsity and universities, and the options obviously, which I'm listening now at Northlink, is there. The opportunities are there. So parents, guys, listen, you know what, if your kid is interested in any of these, come and find out.
I think what's important and what you're touching on, the parents must be, I'm 30 years in the trade. We must tap in what our kids want.
Exactly. We
must ask the question. Don't because I'm a mechanic, I want my child to be a mechanic. Don't because I'm IT, my child want to be an IT. I had parents here and the kid was just sitting there and I asked him and I had to tell the parents, just 1 second, give your child a chance.
Exactly.
And I say, what do you like? No, computers. No. And then you put it together. Do you want to do this? And looks at the parents. So for me, it's important, if you don't know, bring the child here. Let him speak to us, take him around, and let him experience it before you put him into something that he really doesn't want to do.
Exactly.
Because you could, there could be another child sitting in that seat that really wants to become an artisan.
So
now you're sitting there and you're preventing one from coming in. So those are the things, and for me, parents can come, they can bring the kids. We will make time for them because it's important that they make a right career decision.
Exactly.
Listen, this is all about passion because I can concur to what you're saying. I can see your passion just it is absolutely fantastic. And on top of that, because you're hitting on something, it's such a wonderful life lesson as well. Because that person who's doing something just to please mom and dad or please whoever's watching, the point is you are not following your true passion. You could be the next outlier. You could be the Renaissance man in that next thing. And that is the important thing. Now, of course, we touched on this, and I said I wasn't going to question anymore, but let me do one more. Partnerships, placements in industry. This, I know you've alluded to it, but I want you just to confirm it, just so people go, I mean, what else can you say?
So yeah, I touched on quality, and I think we had yesterday a business event where we invited industry and we showcased the cost center. But there's a lot of partners, business partners, industry that's with Northlink. But it's easy to get the client on board. It's very difficult to keep them because there's other places out there that wants them. So we have to make sure that we're on par with what we deliver, the quality, and we are guided by industry. I come from industry, so I've got that relationship with industry and I know exactly what they want. If you can't give industry, it's like you said, we are one-stop shop. We don't want you to do anything with administration. We don't want you to do anything with recruitment because that is not your forte. You want to make money, you want to sell labor. We must do that. We will get you the students. We will make sure we get the right students to the right company because there's a culture. The company's got these cultures, so we can't send the wrong students because then we're setting our students up for failure.
Exactly.
So registering the learners or the apprentices with Masitas, we assist them. So it's taking all that burden and that admin work away from companies and say, let us do it. Let us be the one-stop shop up until the guy qualified. And I think that's where we're hitting the so,
well done.
Certainly achieving amazing success, and I mean, it is very, very evident. I don't know. I'm questioned out.
I'm questioned out. All I can say is the tour you took us on, I was very impressed. Just seeing all the cars and the engine parts. When you switch on this one little thing, that the thing started moving around, I was fascinated because you know you look at your car, you never really look at the engine, and just showing me the detail of how everything kind of just ticks. I was very impressed. So you know, guys, it's extremely exciting. If you just want to come and see what it's all about, do yourself a favor and actually make an appointment, come have a look and see if this is what you want to do. I'm very impressed.
And I think what you've experienced this morning with that walkabout, that's exactly how we do it with anyone that comes, whether it's a parent, company, whoever, that is what we do because that's what we showcase. We show them what we do, and then, the rest is history.
I'm just so fascinated. I saw an engine in slow motion.
There we
because
go.
normally it's fast-moving parts.
Yes, but
You actually know now what the engine does.
Exactly.
And
Well done.
Yeah, my engine does very little now. That was also alluded to. Mr. Owen Francis, thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
Thank you so much for your
problem.
time here with us. Absolutely wonderful talking to you. And once again, we just wish you the best and keep doing what you are doing. It's really
Definitely.
fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Thank
you guys
you,
as well.
thank you.
Okay, absolutely brilliant. Well, there you have it. You know, and this is what makes things easy. This is we at the Bellville South campus here today
yeah.
with Northlink. Of course, it is the third time we've gone on a little road trip.
Road trip.
We've actually tasted it. We've experienced it, and this is super important.
Makes a
Rhoda.
massive difference. It's just basically having to experience it, you know, having to look at all of it on a picture is not the same, but actually being here, it makes a massive difference.
And this is why this show is important for
Very
you to
important.
watch. And if you have questions, if you have comments, if something is not clear, you want to have further information, please ask the question. The experts are here. Somebody will get back to you, and
Exactly.
all this information, of course, available as well. So we've touched now on automotive repairs, maintenance, so mechanics as well, the diesel part of it.
Yes.
There's a lot happening, and you might hear this terminology, industry as well. And I want to separate that quickly. This is how I understand it. So everything that happens in the real world, the businesses,
The business,
the
corporates out
manufacturers, the businesses, the industry that you would be working in. This is when that phrase is being used.
Yeah.
And the one thing that is coming clearer and clearer, life is changing, things are developing. If we can use COVID as an example,
yeah.
I mean, we do things we never did 5 years ago.
Exactly.
And we live in a very different time. And more importantly, it is important to keep pace with what you are being taught to what is being demanded in life. No place does it like Northlink College.
Like Northlink, definitely.
Absolutely no place. So we're moving on to some of the other courses as well. And joining us now is Yasin Johnson, who is the program manager of Boilermaking. We're going to talk about all of this. We're going to talk Boilermaking. We're going to talk sheet metal work.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of things we've got to talk about and all of this. But Yasin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
We good.
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 Thank you for being here.
No, absolutely our pleasure.
Thank you for inviting
me. Speak quickly to us about the trades that are being offered.
Okay, within my department, basically, we've got the boilermaking. A lot of people refer it to as fabrication. So fabrication means assembling something, making up something from
Okay.
metal. And then, of course, then we've got additional to that, we've got our welding department. So boilermaking and welding are very closely related because you remember the boilermaker is the person that manufactures the item, puts it together, tacks it up, and then the welder will weld it up further. But obviously the welder has a specific skill and the boilermaker has a specific skill. So we've got a fully equipped boiler shop and we've got a fully equipped welding department that does all the different varieties of welding to suit industry also.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of something called pipe fitting. Now, is this now some...
Yeah.
What exactly is that?
People always seem to think pipe fitting is a standalone trade on its own, but actually myself, I mean, when I was working at John Thompson, I did pipe layouts and stuff, but I'm actually a qualified boilermaker by trade.
Okay.
So the pipe fitting is a latch onto the boilermaking. So you must understand boilermaking in itself because the basic concepts, principles that you use in boilermaking is utilized in pipe fitting also.
Okay.
And then there's the welding side of things as well.
Yeah. So the boilermaker, in a lot of industries, especially in where we are, in the companies that we service, the boilermaker can take on various different roles. So he can be a maintenance boilermaker. We have a company like McAdams, where our students are actually like, they tell me, sir, I'm a computer boilermaker. So they sit at the computer and they program the computer to do certain tasks.
Wow.
But they must understand the dynamics that go with
Yeah.
it. So yes, it's all different components that make up the boiler and boilermaking. And ironically enough, on this campus, you'll find that the vast majority of students actually study boilermaking, because the boilermaking field is very wild. If I look at the companies we have within our workshop, it's from far and wide. Your SM Metal, your Damon Shipyard, Einenze Water, Akura. There's Atlantis Foundries. So it's very wide with companies in Worcester and Sierras and everywhere.
Yeah. And just to touch on that, obviously, I mean, the campus is a lot of people. I mean, it's still working campus. There's still classes going on. There's lots going on
Lots happening.
around us. You have students, learners here who are fresh out of school, but you also have, and you've been touching on, you say the clients, and I just want to be very clear with this. These are people that are working with a company or the employer said, go to Northlink and go learn this.
Yeah. Yes. Look, normally, like I say now, fortunately, Mr. Randall touched on it earlier on, is specifically with the Center of Specialization, they're all employed learners. Fortunately for me, in my workshop, all the students at this point in time are employed learners. So you're looking at over 100 of them that are employed learners. And this, it's always makes me feel good because we're addressing our youth unemployment.
Yes, yes.
Which is key, and it's really high at this point in time. And I think this is why the government has come along and changed the concept that or the approach they have to apprenticeships, where they are putting a lot of funding into the cost, and with that, they are saying that, okay, let's take the youth and make sure, as Mr. Randall said, that the company comes on first, and then the learner comes in. So by the time they come to us, they are employed. Then we will train them in the basic core units they need to know about how to operate the machine, how to weld, how to cut, how to assemble, how to measure with the tape and those type of things. Because in a lot of instances, people are not going to allow you to work on a machine that is costing a lot of money, and here you come along and you just set the machine wrong, and there it goes.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I must compliment on that because I mean, when you took us on the tour there as well, those machineries are big, they're massive. So obviously you need to make sure that they're well kept and looked after. So you do the training as well, just to make sure that they don't break the machines as well.
So what happens basically, the lectures before the student actually start working on the machine, they are taken through the safety, how to start with the machine, how to set the machine, all the precautions that go with it before they are allowed on the machine. And normally our first year students wouldn't be too much of movement on the machines. As we go along, and then within the third year, you'll find that the students are actually more comfortable working and we can leave them. That's why every machine by me, we've got a notice on there. No students allowed to work on the machine if not given permission by the lecturer.
Oh, brilliant.
It's just a safety aspect because it's high risk. We've got guillotines, we've got the big bending presses, 80 ton, 40 ton. And we've got the rolling machines, and of course then we've got all the different type of welding machines that go with it. And it's all high risk. And that is why when Mr. Randall spoke earlier on, we spoke about safety. Safety, proper PPE overall, earplugs, everything is a must.
No, it is a must. I just want to move out, and I must apologize. It's a bit of a naughty question. It is a bit of a naughty question, and I'm going to say it this way because any young person, any person, you know, in an impressionable phase, when you decide on a career, you look at carrots. For me, for different things, what could I possibly earn one day if that is my career? And it is an unfair question. It is an unfair question, but I'm sure a lot of students or prospective students, learners, are looking at this going, all right, now Boilermaking, can this take me anywhere? Can I go see places? Will I be earning a sustainable income? Is it a growing industry? Is there going to be need? All these questions are very important before you actually decide. And is it a lucrative industry?
It is. Normally when we had registrations, then they used to put me on duty by the gate. So when the students walk in, because of my years of experience teaching at a technical high school, and all of you understand now these kids think when they come from school. So the first thing I will ask them, why Boilermaking? You know, then they don't know why, then you must first counsel them a little bit before you send them on a specific path. I would normally say that the kids will start off with the N1, N2, and 3. Unfortunate part now is the N1 to N3 is being faded out, and that is where the Center of Specialization is coming in. It incorporates that, plus all the soft skills that go with it. As far as salaries go, we always tell the students, you want to keep on chopping and changing and jumping from one career to another career. You need to focus yourself because obviously there is going to be a sacrifice at the beginning. You're going to get a stipend, and the stipend means it's basically an allowance to help you to travel forth and back to college and a little bit of spending money maybe or something. But it's not a salary. And we make this point of telling the student, today you're earning 3,000, tomorrow you qualify, you're going to earn 15 to 20,000 rands.
Wow.
So qualified Boilermaker, you'd be looking at anything with about 25,000 to 30,000. And then normally when we speak to our ex-students that come through, and those are the ones that end up working on the oil rigs and going overseas and those type of things, then they talk to you 100,000 per month.
Sure.
So it's entirely
Up
up
to
to the
you.
candidates themselves.
Yeah.
And we always tell the students, irrespective of what you obtaining, as long as you can stick it out with the company while you're in your apprenticeship, because they're gonna shunt you around. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, once you qualified and you got that piece of paper, you can go anywhere. I'm now busy talking to a family in Australia. The guy did spray painting, and he's settling permanently in Australia. So
Wow.
it's totally open. It's entirely what you make out of it.
And I know you're just throwing numbers around, but it's just as an example to the best of your knowledge. And I apologize, because that was an unfair question. But it just shows you what you get.
Yeah.
It just shows you the world is the oyster, isn't it?
Exactly.
No, thank you for answering my naughty question. No, really. Rhoda asked earlier, Owen this earlier, is there a certain level of difficulty with the courses?
Yeah.
How difficult is it?
We normally we try not to be too discriminative, let's put it that way. So in a manner of speaking, we do take students on from school of skills, but then we focus them more on the practical because it's more hands-on. And then the students that are more, they'll put into the apprenticeships because that's where the thinking. This morning when we took you guys around, you saw the amount of mathematical calculations stuff that needs to go into certain components. Because if you look at this building at the top, this is a steel structure. This is what Boilermaker does.
Wow.
Building bridges, building factories, building staircases,
gonna ask
building
you.
ships. I've got a fantastic short clip video which Damien Shipyard sent me. A massive ship for the Navy. You look at this thing, it's the size of this building.
Wow.
But our students was part of it. And that makes you feel proud.
Wow.
You know,
Well done.
irrespective of the small bit of it, but they were part of building that massive, big ship.
Excellent.
So yes, it depends how and where the student finds himself.
Sure. The requirements to study, what is needed?
Okay. In general, basically, for an apprenticeship, they would normally say grade 9. But there's a technicality that goes to it also, because when you finish your apprenticeship, to apply for a trade test, you must have an N2 or technical matric. So how does the grade 9? But luckily for us, that is why I'm very excited about the COS program, because the COS program has actually now brought about a change. They say grade 9, but as long as you complete all your 3 years and you complete all your modules, you are allowed into trade tests.
Okay.
And this is the change with the COS, and we find that the COS is quite exciting for us because it's that employed learner is with the company. We have this rotation system, certain amount of time in the company, certain amount in the college. The lecturers go out and they do site visits to make sure that the students are being exposed to correct learning within the workplace. And then very key is the logbook.
Yeah.
So the logbook is something where they
very
note down
important.
everything that they do every day.
Very important.
And that goes with the application for the trade test. And we monitor and we do mentoring with the guys in the workplace. A lot of the guys in the artisans in the workplace are still a bit rough. They don't understand the concept of training. You know, that apprentice, when it comes there to you, you still need to train him and guide him and take him by the hand. You can't expect him just to do a perfect job.
Yeah.
So we do a bit of mentoring and we try and interview, not I say intervene, but we try to assist as far as possible to make sure that the time spent in the workplace becomes pleasant and not being standing with a broom all day around or grinding all day, something like that.
No, I'm going to enroll Rhoda.
Now we have, funny enough, we do have a lot of females.
Good.
And they're quite good and diligent workers.
Yeah.
I'm quite proud of them sometimes. I mean, we have like a Damon Shipyard, we have a number of females standing out, you know, and other companies also have a number of females standing out.
Yeah.
And I think here, one of the things, the other two that's also mentioned on is that we still have this challenge, I would say the challenge, but the understanding of you don't have to go to university to become, to be successful. You can still make TVET your first choice. And we, like the bridge we're crossing now with Owen and RTS at this moment in time, it's an important step for us. We're going to take grade 11 learners and we're going to take them through a certain program to give them a taster of what TVET is all about.
Wow.
So they can become aware of it. And we're hoping that this is going to branch out into other trades. Because I come from a technical high school, and the kids could walk in literally into these colleges.
Brilliant.
So we're hoping to get that back on board again. And we're asking, and one of our key things appeals basically is to, when we have, like yesterday we had a business day morning, employers morning we would call it, is for industry to come to us and talk to us and say, guys, how can we interact? And then the other thing is the students from the technical high schools, we're not excluding the academic schools, but students from the technical high schools, where and how and where do they go?
Exactly.
We don't know.
Exactly.
Because we don't see them here. So where do those technical high schools children go? They do the technical stream, but what do they do after that?
So true.
It'll be interesting if somebody can just do a sort of a survey and just see where they go to. No, because if you look at this, I did a lot with WCD, and I tell these life orientation teachers that UWC get about 26,000 applicants per year, first year, but they can only accept 6,000.
Exactly.
So where are your other matriculants?
And
we are here.
Exactly.
We've got bursaries. We've got everything.
You've got partnership placement in industry. Oh
everything.
my word! What more do you
Guaranteed
want?
employment.
Exactly.
Guaranteed employment. And some of the companies, they start the kids off with quite a good salary. Some of the bigger companies, they start with a good salary.
So just we took a walk, and I got a bit excited because I saw some plans. It was on a wall there of things that's happening.
I must,
things.
that is something I like to elaborate slightly on. Obviously, with being now on the course for about 2 years already, so we've got all our companies nicely settled in. They interact with us, our students are happy and everything. And then Mercy, they came along, they gave us some additional funding. So the one machine, that's the laser cutting machine, which cuts your plates with any shape, whatever you want. It's coming in now at 2 o'clock. It's delivery, a couple of million. Okay. But I can say, I asked my coordinator, Mr. Mafumba, can I say literally on the show today that we are the first and the only college in South Africa that will have the laser cutting machine, the water jet cutting machine, and the plasma cutting machine, all CNC. And
Nowhere
the building,
else in the country.
Nowhere in the country.
Wow.
And the building outside the classrooms, the workshop is obviously going to be renovated to make it an open plan thing. And then the building outside is going to become a 4IR room. So at the top, computers with the software program SolidWorks, which is where you can design everything what you want, drawing classroom things, everything. And at the bottom is 4IR machines.
Wow.
So give and take about 3 to 6 months, you'll see a whole different boilermaking. And then we're hoping, of course, once the motor and the welding and those guys come into play, that they will also then get that benefit of, upgrading the workshops, more modern machinery and everything.
Yeah. $1 million question, and this is where we're going to leave it, because I tell you, it is brilliant. How do you apply? How do you enroll? How do I do it? What's the documents required? What do I have to do to get enrolled in?
Okay, look, basically, at this point in time, it's not just but sad that the N1 to N3 is fading out. We are hoping that in that instance, it used to be grade 10, 11, or 12, because we do what we call a pace testing. We score you, like they would do at a university. You must have certain points to get into the theory classrooms. Now, obviously, now from next year onward, it'll be the N4 and 5 and 6 then only. To get into the apprenticeship program, they say minimum grade 9, so we can't discriminate, but preferably, but depending on the trade. Like by us, maths for boilermaking would be a more of a higher level type of thing we'd be looking at. So we'd prefer maybe students with the matric, and in this case with maths, and at least the language. Because when you apply for trade tests, those are the type of things they look for. Or like students from a technical high schools where they've already done the technical subjects, and then we would look at what we call NCV level 4. So NCV level 4, as Owen alluded to earlier on, is that it's a student that can leave grade 9 from the school, come into the college, do the 3 years, and at the completion of NCV level 4, it's equivalent to him then, like I would say technical matric. He can then apply for apprenticeships and learnerships and whatever that comes after that. So it's a pathway that it follows. And I think this is something that schools need to look at, trying to create pathways for students
So true.
so that they know exactly where they're going and they don't come out of the schooling system not knowing what they want to do.
Yeah. Mr. Yasin Johnson, thank you.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for being here and thank you for taking time out to be with us.
Before we let you
Yeah.
go, do you have any questions? I'm done.
I
she
can
was-
just say I was very impressed with your workshop.
Thank you
Well
very much.
done.
Yeah,
You know,
but
seeing
like
the ladies spray painting inside that room, I mean, that room was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it was sealed off. You couldn't smell even what she was spray painting. So I'm very impressed. Oh,
Okay.
it's really, I must say, top notch.
Yeah, we also, just as an add-on, we were talking for IR. In the welding department, we've purchased 5
yeah.
units. I've actually got to have 3 units also as what we call welding simulator. So welding simulators means you can simulate the welding to a great extent to the reality. And those machines are going to be put up as soon as the venue is completed. And then the welding guys can come in and do the welding simulator. And we will also have it in our 4IR room, because I've got 3 units, they've got 5 units. And this is a new way. That thing has got a helmet on, it's got a camera
wow.
in. It picks up everything that you do, it displays it on the computer for you.
Oh, wow.
And the lecturer can monitor everything. It's very high tech. And I think, if I can speak under correction, I think that's also a first for any TVET in South Africa.
Wow.
There's a lot of firsts today, I tell you.
No.
Definitely.
Northlink is really moving ahead, and we're happy, and we're very pleased with executive management at our central office who are supporting us. And in this case,
Excellent.
also DHT is doing a lot for us so that we can stay in line and keep abreast with industry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if we
Yeah,
fall behind,
exactly.
our students are not going to be able to be employed.
And won't be able to get exactly.
You certainly not doing that. You setting the pace, actually.
Totally.
I think you are setting the pace. Mr. Johnson, thank you so much.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you,
your time.
thank you.
No, thank you so much. That was Mr. Yasin Johnson, who's one of the program managers here at Northlink. I tell you what, you heard it all today. You certainly heard it all. In the last 59 minutes or so, we've heard passion. And I don't think you cannot look at this with the Link Show and not make Northlink your tertiary choice of
Exactly.
institution. There is no TVET college like this. You've
None.
heard it not once, but you heard it twice. Some of the equipment and the machines that's
Wow.
here, nowhere else
Nowhere
is it going to
else.
be. And this is the most important thing for me, Rhoda, because it is super important. As a student, you hear there's a partnership. It is aligned with what happens in the industry to what you are studying.
Exactly.
You walk in, you kind of know what you're doing.
What you're doing. Yeah. And also what's exciting for me, Douglas, is you can actually come and have a look at this before you even make
Exactly.
that decision. Come and have a look at everything that's here. And you know what? That will definitely make your choice at the end very clear on what you want to do.
Yeah, no, that
Totally.
definitely makes it a lot easier. And this is the test you got to do when it comes to deciding on the tertiary institution that you want. So this just makes you easier. I tell you what, it's been an absolute pleasure being here at the Bellville Campus
Thanks.
today. It certainly has been.
I've learned a lot today.
We certainly have learned a lot. So we expect all of you to be marching here very, very soon. So it was our 3rd episode that we have had, of course, where we featured engineering with on the Link Show. And more specifically, it is the final Link Show for the year.
For the year, that's right.
So you know what to do. Now, simply visit northlink.co.za, www.northlink.co.za for any questions and, of course, all the information that you require to make Northlink your tertiary choice. And that's simply what you're going to do. And it's certainly
Exactly.
been absolutely wonderful, and more importantly, it's been fantastic to bring you all this information. Thank you
Definitely.
very much to our guest today on the Link Show as well. It was absolutely wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful. And guys, make the right choices now. The platform and everything is here. The silver platters are there. Pick and choose.
The good news for you is you can kick off the year 2023 with a bang. Make Northlink your choice of institution. From all of us here in the Link Show, thank you very much for watching. Look after yourselves and everybody around you. And now you know where to go. You go to Northlink. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.